All right, so get ready, because we're doing a deep dive into the world of tattoos.
Ooh, fun.
Specifically, how skin tone plays a huge role in how that ink is going to look years down the line.
Okay.
You know, you've been thinking about getting some new ink, right?
Right.
So we put together this deep dive based on a couple of really interesting articles.
Cool.
Buckle up, because we're about to unlock a whole new level of appreciation for the art, ain't ye?
Yeah.
The science behind those awesome tattoos, you see.
I'm ready.
Me too.
It's fascinating because we often think of tattoos as just, purely artistic expressions.
Yeah, just like whatever the artist draws.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, I like that, and then I put it on my body.
Exactly. But the reality is there's a lot of science involved, especially when it comes to how different skin tones interact with ink.
It's like a hidden world opened up.
Totally.
Once I started reading these articles,
Yeah.
melanin, light reflection, color theory,
Uh-huh.
it's way more than just picking a cool design.
It really is.
Okay, so first things first, let's break down the whole skin tone thing. It's obviously more than just light or dark. You know what I mean?
You're sure.
So what do we need to know about undertones and melanin before we even start thinking about designs?
So think about foundation makeup,
Oh, yeah.
how it comes in so many different shades.
So many.
It's not just about how light or dark your skin is, but it's also about the underlying colors,
Okay.
like those cool, warm, or neutral undertones.
Right?
And then there's melanin, which is like this is natural pigment
Melanin, yeah.
that determines how much light your skin absorbs and reflects.
And that melanin is like a filter for the tattoo ink.
Right, precisely. Like imagine looking through a piece of colored glass.
Okay.
It changes how you see the light passing through it, right?
Right.
So melanin works in a similar way.
Okay.
It affects how vibrant or subtle that tattoo ink appears.
Okay, so now I'm picturing lighter skin like a clear window reflecting a lot of light,
Mm-hmm.
so the colors really pop.
Yeah.
And darker skin is like looking through a darker glass, which makes the colors more subdued.
That's a great way to visualize it.
Okay.
And there's this cool example in one of the articles
Okay.
about a blue rose tattoo.
Okay.
And it temporarily became super vivid after a burn.
Wait, seriously, a burn made the tattoo brighter.
It did, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So what happened was the burn removed some of the top layers of skin,
All right.
allowing the blue ink to be seen more directly without as much melanin filtering the light.
Oh.
It kind of highlights how the depth of the ink and those layers above it really impact how the color is perceived.
That's mind-blowing. So basically, the healed ink is chilling below the surface, and we're seeing it through this melanin filter.
Exactly.
This is making me rethink everything I thought I knew about tattoos.
I know, it's a game changer.
So how do we use this knowledge to actually choose the right ink colors for our skin?
So this is where color theory comes in.
Okay.
Specifically the concept of complementary colors.
Complementary colors.
Yeah, and these are colors that sit opposite each other on the color wheel.
Oh, I remember that from art class. Like blue and orange or red and green.
Exactly.
They either create this intense visual contrast or they neutralize each other when mixed.
Right.
But how does that relate to tattoos?
Well, think about brown skin.
Okay.
It often has warmer undertones, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like a grayed out yellow-orange.
Huh.
So if you were to tattoo with a blue-violet ink,
Yeah?
which is on the opposite side of the color wheel,
Huh?
it might not appear as vibrant because it's fighting against those natural yellow-orange tones in the skin.
Okay, so that explains why those super bright reds and greens look so incredible on darker skin tones.
Yes.
They're furthest away from those yellow, orange, blue, violet tones.
Yeah.
So the contrast is off the charts.
Exactly. It's about understanding those color relationships
Right.
and how your skin tone comes into play.
So interesting.
Now let's take a closer look at how ink choices vary for different skin tone categories.
Okay.
The article we have breaks it down into light, medium, and dark skin.
Perfect. Let's break it down. Starting with those with lighter skin tones.
Okay.
What's the color palette looking like?
With lighter skin, you've got a pretty wide range of options
Okay.
because the colors tend to reflect vividly.
Uh-huh.
Even pastels and those delicate watercolor styles can look stunning.
Oh.
But even with lighter skin,
Yeah.
some colors are more prone to fading than others.
So even with lighter skin,
Mhm.
you still need to be strategic about color choices for a tattoo that looks awesome long term.
Yeah, you don't want it to fade away.
Exactly.
Now with medium skin tones,
Okay.
which often have those warmer undertones, you also have a lot of versatility.
Okay, cool.
Warmer colors and jewel tones look amazing,
Yeah, I can see that.
but sometimes you might need to bump up the saturation
Okay.
of certain colors like yellows and light greens
Uh-huh.
to make sure they don't get lost.
So it's not that you can't get those lighter, softer colors on medium skin. It's more about making sure they have enough oomph to stay visible and vibrant.
Yeah,
Right.
you got it.
Okay, cool.
Now, for those with darker skin tones, high contrast is key.
Okay.
Think rich, deep colors like those beautiful dark blues,
Yeah.
deep purples, and those eye-catching greens we talked about.
Right.
The article even mentions that black and gray shading looks incredible on darker skin.
Yeah.
And it tends to age really well, giving that classic, timeless look.
Okay, I'm already seeing how this changes everything.
Right.
It's not about limitations at all.
No.
It's about working with your unique skin tone to create a tattoo that truly shines.
I love that.
And I bet that the way the ink is applied also matters, right?
Totally.
Like bolder outlines, thicker lines, things like that.
Yeah, you're right on track. Bold outlines are like a secret weapon, especially on darker skin. They help to keep the design sharp
Yeah.
and prevent it from getting muddy over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about white ink?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen some cool tattoos with white highlights, but does that work on all skin tones?
It's a bit tricky.
I'm guessing maybe not.
Yeah, especially on darker skin tones. It has a tendency to fade faster than other colors.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can even take on a yellowish or grayish hue as it heals.
Oh, wow. So it's not impossible to use, but it requires an artist who really knows their stuff
For sure.
and can manage expectations about how it'll look over time.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like trying to paint with a super light color on a dark background. It's got to take some serious skill to make it work.
Exactly. And speaking of skill, choosing the right artist is crucial,
Yes.
especially when it comes to navigating these skin tone considerations.
This is where it gets really interesting.
I know, right?
It's not just about finding someone who can draw. It's about finding an artist who truly understands how to work with different skin tones, right?
Absolutely. And that's a topic that deserves its own deep dive.
Ooh.
We'll come back to that after a quick just kidding.
Oh, man.
We're diving right in.
No breaks.
No breaks.
Okay, so let's talk about finding that perfect artist match.
Okay.
Where do we even begin?
Well, it all starts with research.
Research. Got it. But where do we even start?
Right.
It's not like there's a tattoos for my skin tone section in the yellow pages.
You're absolutely right.
Like, how do we even find these people?
It's not that simple, but luckily we live in the age of the internet,
Cool.
and that means
Thank goodness.
we have a world of tattoo artists at our fingertips.
Okay, so we're talking online stalking.
A
I mean, research.
little bit of both.
Where do we look? Instagram, tattoo websites.
All of the above. Start by exploring different artists online.
Okay.
Check out their Instagram feeds. Browse their websites and see if they have a presence on any online tattoo communities.
I'm already picturing myself scrolling through endless tattoo photos.
I know, right? It's a rabbit hole.
This is going to be dangerous for my productivity, but so worth it.
But so worth it.
What should we be looking for specifically besides just cool designs?
This is where you get to be super specific.
Okay.
Are you drawn to bold graphic tattoos?
Yep.
Delicate fine line work? Realistic portraits?
Mm-hmm.
Start by honing in on artists whose style aligns with your vision.
And I'm guessing we should pay extra close attention to how their tattoos look on skin similar to ours, right?
Yes, 100%.
Are there any search terms or hashtags that can help us narrow down the search?
Absolutely. Hashtags are your new best friend.
Okay, I like it.
Try searching for things like
Okay.
hashtag black and gray tattoo,
Okay.
hashtag melanin tattoo, or even hashtag brown skin tattoo.
Okay.
You can also combine those with hashtags related to your preferred style.
Oh, that's smart. So if I'm loving those vibrant color tattoos we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
I could search for hashtag neo-traditional tattoo
Uh-huh.
and hashtag melanin
Exactly.
to see artists who specialize in that style on darker skin tones.
Exactly. It's like a super powered search engine for tattoos.
So cool.
And once you found a few artists whose work resonates with you,
Yeah.
what do you think the next step is?
Slide into their DMs with a heart eyes emoji.
Maybe.
Just kidding. Okay, seriously, how do we make contact?
A more professional approach would be to reach out to them through their website or email,
Okay.
introduce yourself,
Uh-huh.
mention what you admire about their work,
Okay.
and let them know you're interested in getting a tattoo.
And this is where those reference photos come in handy, right?
Yes.
Like, hey, I love how you did this amazing blue and purple mandala on someone with skin like mine.
Exactly. Visuals speak volumes.
Yes.
Attach a reference photo or two, especially if it's a tattoo on someone with a similar skin tone to yours.
Yeah.
It shows you've done your homework
Uh-huh.
and you're serious about getting a tattoo that's tailored to you.
Okay, so we found some potential artists. We've reached out,
Mm-hmm.
and Hopefully, they're just as excited about working with us as we are with them.
Fingers crossed.
What happens next? Do we just show up and say, surprise, I'm ready to get inked?
Not quite.
Good.
Most artists offer consultations, and this is where things start to get really exciting.
Ooh. Okay, so tell me everything. What goes down during a tattoo consultation?
It's basically like a brainstorming session where you and the artist get to know each other and flesh out your vision for the tattoo.
I like it.
Bring all your inspiration photos, sketches, and ideas to the table.
It's like a mood board for our tattoo.
Yes.
I can already picture myself cutting out magazine clippings.
Love it.
And printing out Instagram screenshots.
Yes.
This is going to be fun.
The more visuals you can bring, the better.
Okay, cool.
It helps the artist understand your aesthetic.
Yeah.
And get a feel for what you're drawn to.
And this is also our chance to ask all the questions, right?
Yes, definitely.
What kind of stuff should we be asking to make sure we're on the same page and that the artist is the right fit for us?
Don't be shy about asking about their experience.
Okay.
Their process. And
Yeah.
anything else that's on your mind.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to skin tone. There are some key questions you'll want to ask.
Okay, hit me with those key questions. What do we need to know?
First and foremost,
Okay.
ask about their experience working with clients who have similar skin tones to yours.
Okay.
Have they done a lot of tattoos on darker skin?
Right.
Are they comfortable with the unique considerations involved?
Because it's one thing to be a talented artist in general.
Yeah.
It's another to have that specialized knowledge and experience working with different skin tones.
Exactly.
You want to feel confident that they understand how ink interacts with your specific skin type.
Yes, 100%.
What about the technical stuff, like the inks they use and how they actually apply the tattoo?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Ask about the quality of the inks they use.
Okay.
Some inks are known to hold up better on darker skin tones than others.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to get geeky.
Okay.
And ask about their needle depth and shading techniques.
Oh, wow.
An experienced artist will adjust their approach based on the thickness and melanin content of your skin.
I had no idea it was that technical.
It is.
This is why finding a skilled and knowledgeable artist is so important.
It's very important.
They're not just drawing on your skin, they're working with it.
Exactly. It's like a collaboration between art and science.
So cool.
And speaking of collaboration, the consultation is also a good time to talk about the design itself.
Okay.
Is there anything about the design that needs to be adjusted to better suit your skin tone?
Okay, so this is where that whole color wheel knowledge comes in handy, right?
Yes.
Like if I have darker skin and I'm set on a pastel tattoo, is that even possible? Or are there certain designs or colors that are just a no-go for certain skin tones?
That's a great question. And it's something you should definitely discuss with the artist.
Okay.
They might suggest tweaking the design slightly,
Okay.
adjusting the color palette, or even recommending a different placement altogether to make sure the tattoo looks its best.
This is making me realize how much I don't know.
I know, there's a lot to learn.
I'm so glad we're having this conversation. What else should we talk about during the consultation?
Aftercare is super important,
Okay.
especially when it comes to skin tone.
Yeah.
Ask about their aftercare instructions, especially if you're prone to hyperpigmentation or keloid scarring.
Right.
A good artist will give you personalized advice
Okay.
to ensure your tattoo heals properly
Yeah.
and looks amazing for years to come.
It's all starting to click now. Good.
Yeah.
Finding the right artist is like finding a partner in crime for this whole tattoo journey.
Yes.
They're there to guide you,
Yes.
educate you, and make sure you're happy with every step of the process.
I love that.
It's really cool.
Absolutely.
And speaking of finding the right artist, there's one more thing I want to emphasize. Okay. Spill the beans. What's this crucial piece of advice?
It's all about seeing the proof in the pudding, or in this case, the ink.
Oh, okay.
So when you're checking out an artist's portfolio, don't just focus on those fresh, vibrant tattoos.
Right. They all look good when they're fresh.
Exactly.
Like a new car.
Ask to see examples of their healed work.
Okay.
Especially on clients with skin tones similar to yours.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
A fresh tattoo is like a brand new pair of shoes.
Yes.
They always look amazing in the store.
Great.
But it's how they hold up after months of wear and tear that really matters.
Exactly. And a well-done tattoo, like a well-made pair of shoes, should age gracefully and look fantastic for years to come.
I like that comparison.
So don't be shy about asking to see those healed tattoos.
Right.
If an artist is hesitant to share or doesn't have many examples, that could be a red flag.
Totally makes sense. It's like checking the references before you hire a contractor.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to see proof of their work, not just their promises.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's fast forward. We've done our research.
Okay.
Stalked their Instagram.
Haha.
Had an awesome consultation, and we're ready to book that appointment.
I'm excited for you.
What happens next?
Most artists will require a deposit
Yeah.
to secure your appointment.
Makes sense.
And they might also give you some pre-appointment instructions.
Let's take a look. What?
Like avoiding alcohol or aspirin before the tattoo session.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
Those can thin your blood and make you bleed more.
Oh, okay.
Which can affect how the ink settles.
Good to know. I definitely don't want to mess up my masterpiece before it even begins.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there anything else we should be prepared for?
They might also ask you to send over any final design tweaks or adjustments before the appointment so they can have everything prepped and ready to go.
So it's a collaborative process right up until the needle hits the skin.
It is.
I'm loving this whole teamwork approach to tattooing.
Absolutely. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
It's a journey and an investment in yourself.
So true.
And when all those elements come together, the result is a piece of art that you'll treasure for a lifetime.
Speaking of treasures, this whole deep dive has been a treasure trove of information.
Right.
I feel like I've learned so much about the art, the science, and the whole process of getting a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
It's way more than just picking a design and going for it.
It really is. And while we've covered a lot of ground today, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, no.
There's a whole universe of amazing tattoo artists, styles, and techniques out there to explore.
I'm ready to dive in. But before we wrap up, any final words of wisdom for our listeners who are about to embark on their own tattoo adventures?
Do your research. Ask all the questions.
Yes.
Trust your gut feeling, and most importantly, have fun.
Yeah.
Getting a tattoo is an incredible way to express yourself.
Right.
Celebrate your individuality and collaborate with a talented artist to create something truly unique.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our tattoo deep dive.
Oh.
We hope you've enjoyed the journey as much as we have.
I did.
Remember, this is just the beginning. Go forth, explore and create. Happy inking, everyone.